Merry Christmas, Andrew. Hey, I don't know if I hear you yet. I hear you upstairs.
Testing.
Ah, there you go.
Uh, well, welcome in. And you're missing your hat, brother.
Oh no. There you go. Boom.
Now we can have Christmas.
Woo.
Type it in the chat. How's your energy? 1 out of 10, everybody. Type it in the chat. We have a lot to cover today. We want to show you how to get paid better, more, all the good things. And we have a lot to cover and a lot to share. But I want to see how your energy levels are.
It's a
How's
good
your
day,
energy?
Andrew. It is a good and beautiful, beautiful day. I just talked to a good 20 of our students about a winning streak and this mindset that you choose to be a winner and you choose to be on a winning streak and you choose to have the perspective of wins. And that's something I want to start the day with is what we always do on every single team meeting, every single time you and I war room and have a business chat. Every time we get together with a big group, we always do what's called wins in gratitude. Although many of you are solo operators at the moment, very soon in the next 12 months, you're going to develop a team. And one of the best ways to build that team is through a great culture, a culture of gratitude and a culture of winning. How do we do that? Is you start with wins and gratitude. We say, hey guys, what's your win in gratitude? Everyone goes around. Here's my win. Here's what I'm grateful for. Here's how I won this week. Here's what I'm grateful for this week. So everyone in the chat, whether you're on YouTube live stream or whether you're on Zoom, which where I get to see your beautiful smiling faces, put in the chat something, put in chat a win for the week. I know it's Monday, but a win from the weekend. Put it in the chat. Andrew, you want to start?
You know, we're on a roll and a roll for you guys listening to this. And I think it's a big win, but I was trying to do the math this morning. I think we have just under 20 deals in the works. I say that loosely, meaning they're waiting on something in writing, they're waiting on a contract, that's verbally negotiated, or a promising follow up. And it's day 4, and we have not even been calling that many sellers. I want to share this because momentum, I've been talking about this whole time because we're building the habit. We're getting in the reps over this holiday season. You guys seen Alicia on Saturday, and she got her first $10,000 check, $10,225 check a few weeks back, and said she had, I believe, 3 more in the works. Well, she texted me. She's part of our Freedom Life family. And she texted me Saturday and said, hey, do you have a couple of minutes? And I said, sure. And so we got on and negotiated a deal, got a verbal agreement on another hot deal for her. And we're supposed to be getting a contract out on it today. And real life happens. The seller reached back out after the verbal agreement, waiting on the contract, and tried to adjust the numbers slightly. Well, the numbers she's wanting to adjust are not bad numbers. They still work. There's still a potential 6-figure profit. And we'll have a follow-up call after we send the agreement and work through that together. So that to me is just a huge win because I feel the momentum in the community and on these 12 deals of Christmas. And then personally, my win's hanging out here with my brother on this Christmas week doing some cool stuff.
Love you too, bro. Let's read some of the wins that we got here. We got Jessica got to speak with several leads and did a walkthrough on Saturday.
Let's go,
Tammy
Jessica.
Tammy might have a sub 2 at 2.5%. It's a 4.2 in what is that? Atlanta or what's AL? Is that
Alabama.
Alabama? Oh yeah, Michael. Michael, we can win consistent outreach to motivated sellers. Incredible. Lauren is 12 deals of Christmas. We love you too. Learning and growing. And then what are yours on the YouTube side, Andrew?
We have Henderson says, had a great conversation with the seller this morning. Deborah is making it to the trainings every day. Let's see. Bama Tam.
Bama Tam. I love it.
We got to get these names updated so we know who we're talking to. I'm grateful for the guy at Lowe's gave me instructions on how to fix my top flushing toilet without replacing anything more than a washer. That was a win this morning. I love it.
That's amazing. My win is being here with you and you guys, and just a lot of family time here. You know, something I always dreamed of is being able to still spend time with family while building what we build, and that's something I'm just so grateful for. And so, hey, that's what wins and gratitude is. It's just what is your win? What are you grateful for? Speaking it out, and it kind of builds this momentum if you guys can feel that. Drew, you ready to jump into the topic today?
I'm ready. What's our topic today?
So we are talking about the art of negotiation. And I say art for a very specific reason, just like the art of communication or the art of blank, put whatever you want there. With art, it is not just a cut and dry cookie cutter skill set. It is something that requires creativity. It's something that everybody has the ability to do. Doesn't mean you're going to be fantastic at it, but you have the ability to do it. And it is your style that you develop. With negotiation, it is the key to this business because what you're doing is you're digging for the win-win. You're uncovering the win on your side and the seller side. That's all I want you to have for negotiation. I would write that down. Negotiation equals win-win.
That's good.
And so what Andrew's going to do is he's going to talk about his style and he's going to show you his style on the live calls. And we're just going to talk about it.
We have so far have covered picking your market, picking sources, finding deals, and we talked a little bit about calling leads. You've seen me call a few leads. And as we dive in today about the art of negotiations, I want to break down really, Leo, the parts of a call, because it's easy to get into a call and to sometimes get lost if you're newer. And then we're going to be diving into, before this is over, we're live every day through the end of the year, except Christmas and Sundays. We're going to be covering contracting deals, how you fill out these contracts, how you close the deal, the agreements you need to close the deal, how to sell the deal, how to get the freaking money. Shout out to Kay. I understand there's another deposit coming in on another house today. We have a follow-up call with a buyer who just put a deposit on a house last week. And we're talking about how to start the year off right, because leaning into momentum 2026, it really has the potential to be the best year ever. There's a big transfer of wealth happening, but we get to choose which side of that transfer we're on. We're going to talk about playing to win and not playing just not to lose. How do we actually develop a winner's mentality? We're going to talk about what to do when crap goes sideways, because it will. Nothing goes perfectly. Nothing goes as planned. And then we're going to talk about building this business. And Leo and I are going to be sharing the insights and wisdom from our last many years of building businesses and collectively business together, and how you can plug that in to make 2026 good. Type it in the chat, become the business owner. That's what this is all about, is become the business owner. It's easy to get caught up in just taking a certain action, which is awesome. But as you take that action, what would a great business owner do? How would a great business owner structure this deal? Sometimes it's smarter to take the 10K now. Sometimes it's smarter to make the 60 or 70 or 80 or 100K over time. So what would that future business owner version of me do? And as we dive into the art of negotiations today, follow along, take lots of notes, enjoy it. We gave away cash Saturday, not yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. And we gave away cash. We got more cash to give away. We like to give it to those who are the most active in the comments. And we've got a lot to get to. And then before we wrap up today, we're going to be structuring offers on a 7-house portfolio that you all heard me call on Saturday together. Sandra. Everybody remember Sandra? And so we're going to be structuring the offer. You hear me say, don't make offers, let them make you the offers. But she basically made us an offer, told us what she wanted. She wants 3 options to pick from. So we're going to do exactly what she asked, and we're going to see where it goes. So the art of negotiation begins, write it down, with asking great questions. Asking great questions. Leo, this is something that you specialize in. You've taught me a lot about how to ask better questions. How do we start asking better questions? You're muted, by the way.
I was saying something really good. 2 sides that I want you to pay attention to, all of you. Side number 1 is communication. Side number 2 is understanding. So if you guys just write those down for a minute, and when Andrew's teaching, know what part he's teaching. Is he teaching how do I have better communication? How do I ask better questions? How do I build rapport and trust with the seller? Or is he teaching the understanding of the business, the methodology, the business model? Now, if you can break it down, really, this is how you learn anything. If you can break it down into those 2, then you're going to catch on so much quicker to what Andrew's teaching. Andrew will talk about how there's 2 different ways that we buy houses. That goes into the understanding of the business, right? How's the business model? How do we actually buy houses? And then on the communication side, it's how do I communicate that concept of buying houses 2 different ways, cash or payments, to the seller? Okay? Because how Andrew might explain it to you, it might take 3, 4, 5 calls like this to understand it, to grasp it. That's okay. But if you take that understanding of the model and you, outside of this call, research it yourself, look it up, ask the right questions. Those of you who have coaches with us, are working with us, ask your coaches this question. And once you get it, then you can communicate it a lot more simple. Because that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing, guys. Get this. We're taking the understanding of the business model, buying on owner finance, and then selling it on lease option. And we're communicating that with the seller so they understand why it's best to sell with us. And when you communicate well, you build lots and lots of trust with the seller. So let's talk about this real quick, and then I want to pass it to Andrew to go into the deep technicals to help you understand it. When we first talk to a seller, hello, Mr. Seller, I was just calling about your house on 123 Main Street. Introduction. All I'm doing is starting the conversation so they know that I'm looking to buy their house. I'm interested. Hey, I was just interested in your property. I was looking at it on Zillow, or I saw it on Facebook. I like the pictures. What can you tell me about the property? What does that do? When you ask, what can you tell me about the property? They're going to start telling you. It is on their court to tell you about an overall broad spectrum of what the house is all about. What does that do for you guys? When you ask that first initial question, it opens up 20 other conversation points, because they might talk about their pain point. They might talk about family. They might talk about how amazing the property is, which they probably will tell you. They'll talk about how much they want for it. When you get that down, you have your canvas. And when you have your canvas, you can then decide what to paint next, what direction to go to next. But the reason we call it the art of negotiation is because you might be like Andrew's style, and he might just get right down to it. What can you tell me about the property? What are you looking to get out of the property? Do you have a debt on this property? He might go straight into it. Or you might be like Judy, who goes a little bit more into rapport building and trust building. And she's a little bit more on the education side. And so she'll imagine like it's a friend, or it's a grandmother down the street, and she'll call that seller that way and slowly ask the questions. But before Andrew goes into the technicals, I want you to understand that it's the two sides. It's understanding the business, which all of you have to do, and then it's communicating that understanding to the seller and doing it enough times for you to get good, for you to get deals. Type in the chat yes if that makes total sense and if you're getting this. Because if you can get that part, I promise you, you can do this business and you can crush it across any angle and you can go do any other business because that's all it is. It's communicating your understanding of the business and doing it enough times so you can get good at it.
I think that's very well described, Leo. Thank you for sharing that because it's often easy to commingle the two, right? To complicate the two and go, okay, I'm trying to get better at understanding, but I'm also trying to explain it to a seller.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll hear me often, guys, go into deep explanation that is for, with you guys, for the understanding of the business. And then you hear me saying what to say with a seller. How do I explain terms to a seller? Well, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I'm going to buy the house now, agree on price, and I'm going to pay you every month until I pay you off in full. That's how I describe terms in one sentence to a seller. And so if you understand the two sides of that, and then, of course, yes, on this side, we talk about the due on sale clause. On the understanding side, we talk about how to negotiate the payments and how to get the best payments and how to make sure we got the right tax info and the insurance info and all of these other technicals and tacticals. But it all comes back down to how do I grasp enough understanding that I can deliver it in a simple way? Somebody said, if you can't explain something in 3 sentences, you don't fully understand it yet. And I thought that was a good takeaway. Whose quote was that? A book I read a little while back. He said, if I had more time, I would have wrote a shorter letter. And I think that's something very well said, because if we can communicate, if fully understand, we can fully communicate. The scripts, of course, are meant to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm going to call out a few of you guys. We're going to talk a little bit more about this. And who here has already gotten value out of these first 3 days? Just give me a yes in the chat if you've gotten value. Jim, what's up, Jim? Good to see you. What's up, Jerry? Jerry's in the house. Joanne, good to see you. D. Saunders, good to see you. Henderson. And you guys are faithful attenders here. I like this. Good to see every one of you. And we got a good crew in the Zoom room today. We got 50 of you guys. What's up, Krista? What's up, Lynette? Anthony? Diane? What's up, Kay? Michael and Mike. Lauren, good to see you. The art of negotiation. So there's 3 outcomes. Write it down if you're taking notes. There's 3 outcomes for every call. And I'm going to give you some things in threes right here. 3 outcomes for every call. Either 1, it's a dead deal. They cussed you out and said, never call me back. That's a tiny minority. You ask the right questions and you negotiate well. Almost never will it fall in that category. Then there is another minority. We love those. That is, we agreed on all the terms. It's a yes to terms. Send me the contract. We love those. Those happen occasionally, but not super often. And then there is the middle ground. The majority of these calls is going to be that middle ground. And that middle ground is in between. It's, write it down, the follow-up. It's the follow-up. It's the seller that maybe says, yes, I'm open to, like Sandra was on Saturday, like the seller with Alicia was on Saturday evening. It's that seller who says, yes, I'm agreeable to terms. Yes, we're on the same page, but I need some more facts. I need to have another chat. I need another conversation. And what we do, in my mind, while many deals are made, it's also the seller that is somewhat unmotivated. You heard on, I believe it was Thursday, it may have been Friday, the seller who is like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to be done with it in retail. What I know is he just dropped the price, if I remember correctly, by like $15,000. Who here realizes that reality is going to hit him sooner or later? If he's lucky, he'll get an offer at a number that's acceptable to him. And if he doesn't accomplish that, who here realizes that in 30 days, we're going to have a much better conversation? Yes. So we put it on a follow-up. So the majority in the middle is going to be follow-up. Now, when it comes to breaking down the calls, the art of negotiation, I look at it in two categories. It's either payments over time, could be payments to the seller, could be payments on their debt. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. And at this point in the conversation, it's just payments over time, or it's seller gets cash. If seller gets cash, a bunch of cash the day we close, then we need a huge discount. If it's payments over time, then we can be more flexible on the price. We're going to underwrite some deals in a moment. And as we're talking about this, because this part of negotiation is knowing what you can pay, knowing what, write this down, what can the deal afford? Type it in the chat. What can the deal afford? This is so important, especially when you're new. It used to make me a little bit insecure years ago when I would start to call sellers and then they would say to me, well, what can you afford to pay? It's like, at the time it was like, I don't know, I'm broke, right? And so I finally got past that. I started doing deals, I started making money. And when people asked me that, I had to chuckle. And I developed a response because I respect where the question comes from, but it's not the right question to ask. And I started thinking, wait a minute, if I have $1 million net liquid in the bank and somebody I'm calling about a $200,000 house, well, how much can you afford to pay? Well, I guess in technicality at that moment, I could afford to pay $1 million. Doesn't mean it's a smart decision. It'd be stupid to pay $1 million for a $200,000 house. So I reframed the question and I said, what can the house afford? In other words, if the house rents for $1,500, it cannot afford an $1,800 a month payment. Means I would be losing money, and that would make me stupid. And I don't do stupid stuff. If the house were at a huge discount in price, then the deal could afford a down payment maybe. But if we're at retail price, the deal can't afford a down payment because that's going to take away all my paydays. We need at least two of them to be good or one to be phenomenal. All right. Everybody, if you're tracking, just give me a yes in the chat. I want to make sure that this is making sense. Leo, hop in anytime you have something to add here or want to clarify. I have something that I want to share with you. I'm going to be giving every one of you guys an opportunity to get a free gift. And who here likes free gifts? Give me a, oh yeah, in the chat. All right. Good to see you, Deborah. Lauren. Lauren is here every day. So good to see you. Valerie's been crushing it doing these calls. Shout out to you. What's up, Carson? So good to see you, brother. Welcome in. Mike, good to see you. Michael. Alice, what's up? Roseanne, I like the bow. That's cool. What's up, Cindy? Kay, always good to see your smiling face. Lynette. Lynette is muted, so you can't tell this, but she always laughs at my jokes. She is now required to be at every event going forward. What's up, Angela? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. All right, we got a good crew. So for every one of you, it is how do I master this art of negotiation? Write it down. The big three. The big three. Every single call, as we negotiate, we are trying to get to the big three. What's the big three? Number one, write it down. Price. Price. Price is always the first of the big three. Every one of those affects the other two. Below price, write down we are in the same range. I'll give you an example. You're on the phone with a seller. A seller says, at least I'll take $200,000. You go, well, the house is probably worth 230. Your mind, you go, okay, we could probably do that. Of course, as long as we can make the down payment and the monthly work. Well, the biggest mistake I see people make is they go, okay, great, we can do that. What's the least you would take per month? Well, you're going, gosh, it's worth 230. I'm getting it for 200. It rents for 1,500, and they go, well, I need 1,300. You go, wait a second, there's not much room there. You go, well, could you do less? And they go, no, I need 1,300. And you go, oh, crap. Okay, I think we can do that. And you get to the down payment, and they go, I need 20% down. You go, oh my gosh, $40,000. What's the least you could take? They go, well, if you do 10%, you give me 20,000. I'll do it. You go, gosh, 20 grand down. I don't know if I can get much more than that on a non-refundable deposit. You're doing 1,300 a month. Gosh, I can't get much more than that rent. 200K purchase price. I mean, there's a little equity, but not much. It's not a good deal. Well, imagine though, they say 200,000. Let's say, got it. And what's the least you could take on the monthly payment? They go 1,300. So is that the best you could do? They go, yeah, I need to stick with that. I say, okay, we're in the same range. Notice how I just gave hope of the deal, but I didn't say, cool, I can do that. You know why? Because I want this, write it down, to be an open loop. Open loop. All right? So if we do an open loop, Tammy, I like that. Tammy said she wanted to see a whiteboard. I'm going to do a whiteboard. Everyone, you know the rules of the whiteboard. Please don't scribble on it. Oh, I just found out right now that there's a whiteboard that only I can draw, and then you can keep typing and not have to worry about marking it up. See if that actually works. All right. You guys seeing the whiteboard? Oh, somebody's already drawing smiley faces.
That was me.
Oh, is that you?
I think I can still do it, Drew. Never mind. That's
all right. We tried. So 230K. Let's say it's worth 230. Let's say that you agreed to 200. Let's say you can rent it for 1,500. You already agreed to 1,300. On average, we get around 10% down. So if you offered them, if you agreed to give them 20K down, you're probably not going to get much more than that down. So that means you would be in a net break even. So that deal sucks. So imagine that we get to the monthly, and I say we're in the same range. I didn't make a commitment. And then we get to the down payment. And they say to me, well, I need 20. We agree they're stuck on 20K. I go, well, let me ask you this. Write it down, type it in the chat. If I can you. This is the question that changes everything. This is why we leave the open loop. Say, well, let me ask you this, Mr. Seller. If I could give you $20,000 down, how much more flexibility would you have on the purchase price? Maybe they go, well, if you're giving me 20 down, I could do 150 on the purchase price or 170 on the purchase price. Let's say they say 170. Who here realizes the deal is substantially better at a 170K purchase price now? And for me, if the house needs no work, I'd be willing to write that 20K check on a property to buy it. It's worth 230 and I'm getting for 170. Why? Because I'm buying $60,000 of equity for $20,000. Does that make sense? Yes. So, question. What though? If they say no, I need 200. Well, I come back. I ain't committed to the 1,300 and I ain't committed to the 20. I've said, well, we're in the same range. If I can you. Let's say we get to the purchase price. They go, no, I'm dead set. I can't, if you offer me 199.9, I can't do it. I'm stuck at 200. Well, let me ask you this. If I could give you $200,000, would you be open to accepting 5,000 now, the day we close, and the rest later. What did I just ask them? Will you take less down? Type it in the chat. Rephrase the question. You're asking the same darn question. You're just asking it in a different way. Who here realizes that at $200,000 purchase price and $1,300 a month, if I'm getting the darn thing for only $5,000 down, that may be a pretty good deal. What if they say, ask me, well, how much more could you do? I'll say, well, I'm at 0 and you're at 20K. How close to my number can you get? So how do we buy houses? Often with little to nothing down, by asking better questions. Find out what they want. Write it down. Type it in the chat. Find out what they want. Find out what they want. If they need $5,000, if they need $20,000 for something specific, I may have to give them the 20K down in order to get the deal done. So I'm going to try to get them to be flexible on the price. If they need $200,000 and that's the number they're dead set on, maybe they're going to be way more flexible on the down. So how do we negotiate? We find the hot button, we ask questions, and we solve problems. You get paid direct proportion in the size of problems you solve. The bigger the problems, the bigger the payday. So if I can you. Now, something that we're going to be doing as we underwrite these deals, I got some more live seller calls today. I want to hear from you guys. Just a quick little vote. Type in the chat, what has been the most impactful part in these first 3.5 days? Just type it in the chat. I want to see, is it the live seller calls? Is it how to find the leads? I want to understand what you guys are gleaning the most from, because as we go through the last 2/3 of this time together, I want to really, some of you guys, it's the beginning of a lifetime relationship. I want to find out exactly what is serving you guys so we can give more of that and continue leaning in. All right. Anthony says a live seller calls. Tammy says, I like a mix of it all. Cindy says, listening to seller calls. Oh, good. Mike says, oh, he's typing numbers. I like that. All right. Leo is the master question asker. Yes, he is. Live seller calls is becoming a ringing winner here. Free lead generation is huge. Okay, good. How to explain the deal to a seller. Okay, that's good. Live seller calls and deal structure for boss flow. Good. Live seller. All right, this is good. This is great feedback. So I want, who here, by the way, we're in day 4. Who here has already gotten some leads or phone numbers to dial? Meaning you've done either Facebook or Zillow or somewhere. You've gotten numbers on your desk that you either have dialed or will be dialing. Just put I have in the chat if you have. If you haven't, just say not yet. I want to find out who's tracking, who's doing the thing. All right. Let's see. Anthony has. Diane has. Alicia has. Devin has not yet. Bill has. Good. Alice, not yet. Jody has. Deborah has. Jerry Owens has. Deborah has. All right, good. So most of you have. Build momentum. It's the holiday season, and that's why I want to showcase Alicia's potential deal. A $450,000 potential house for $250,000 with a potential $42,000. All of this is negotiated verbally. Obviously, it's not signed yet, so who knows? But $42,000 down and $800 a month. Now, who here thinks a $450,000 house that's dated for $250,000 might be a win? Yes? Even if it was a cash deal. Well, Andrew, $42K down is a lot of money. It is. And it's $42K down on a house that is at a cash price. Does that make sense? So it's a hybrid deal. In other words, we're getting a discount as if we were paying cash, but we don't have to come up with all the cash. For every one of you get on the phone with the seller. The only way you get lost is if you don't have a roadmap of what the end conclusion is. I told you today what the 3 conclusions are. Your whole point of the conversation is to get to the big 3. Ask the big 3 questions. What's the least you'll take on price? What's the least you'll take a month? And usually we buy with nothing down. They say they need a down payment, and it's what's the least you could accept as a down payment. Now there's a reframe. If there's a debt on the property, if there's no debt, it's what's the least will you take per month. If there's a debt on the property, instead of saying what's the least you would take per month, I say, great. And then I'm going to buy the house and I'm going to cover that underlying payment of blank, whatever they told me it is. Say they said it was $1,436. I'm going to buy the house and I'm going to cover that underlying payment of $1,436 until I pay you off in full. Okay? Type it in the chat, the assumptive close. Price, monthly payment, down payment. But Andrew, what if they ask me about a balloon? The balloon comes up. About half the time it doesn't. About half the time it does. If a balloon comes up, then I will say to them, what's the longest you'd be willing to give me? We don't buy like we sell. We don't sell like we buy. When we're selling, it's what's the most you can put down. It's the most you can afford as a monthly payment. When are you looking to move? When we're buying, it's what's the least you can accept on price, what's the least you can accept as a monthly payment, and what's the least you can accept down. All right. We're going to get on the phone with some sellers. I already got your permission earlier, so I'm going to work to end as close to 1 p.m. PST today because of a follow-up meeting, but the team is going to be handling the first couple minutes of that if I run over a couple minutes. And I want you to know, everybody who is in coaching, my full intention is to dial every single lead that you guys are turning in over this 12 days. And so if you have not been turning in leads and you're part of the coaching community or the mastermind community, keep the leads rolling. I am down to go longer almost every day. And I say that because I think there's maybe one day a week that I have a back-to-back meeting. So I work my best to end it as prompt as possible, but I am down to go over and close as many deals as possible. We booked this for an hour a day, and I fully anticipate that it will often go a little over. So who's ready for some live seller calls to put this negotiation to work? Give me a yes in the chat if you're ready. All right. We're going to see if we can get a seller on the phone. Kay, I believe we have a follow-up with your First Avenue property on Friday. So that will be right after Christmas. Sounds like a really promising deal. Joe and Judith, we have an underwriting of your 7-house portfolio with the seller Sandra today. So we're going to underwrite that together before we wrap up here shortly. Alicia. Hey, shout out to Alicia for another potential deal. I'm going to break down that deal for you because I want you to see how it went. In fact, I should play that audio. Team, can we have tomorrow's Tuesday? Can we have it, Anya or Gail? Can you note tomorrow on the organic meeting? I would like to prepare that recording of Alicia's call on Saturday. I'd like to prepare that and play that for this crew live tomorrow and break it down step by step. You guys find that helpful? Watching me negotiate the deal and then where I can pause it and then say what I just did and say what I just did. All right. Note that down for me, please, Gail or Anya, and make sure we cover that on tomorrow's organic meeting so we can play that live tomorrow. And we have Diane's deal. All right. So Alicia, we're calling your deal now. This is on Hardy Stone. Is 3. And I'm going to tell you how you can get your Christmas gift. It'll show up post.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you back on the Hardy Stonehouse. How are you?
Yeah, how you doing, bro?
I am good. Did I catch you at a good time?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. I think you're talking about partner Lisi. I just had a couple questions. You about ready for Christmas or what?
Yeah, I ready for Christmas. It's right in the corner.
Heck
And
yeah.
I saw your commercial, see you all buying houses.
Yeah.
But my house is a 2006.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and I changed the roof. The roof is new. I just changed the roof 2 months ago. And then I changed the units, the AC units. That was 2 years ago. I changed the
Alicia, can you
cooling.
type in the
That
chat
was
where this lead came from?
changed the floor. I put wood floor. That was 2 years ago, and it's only the upstairs. I have to change the rug upstairs. I want to put new rugs. That's all. But it's a good house, clean. I do my touch up myself, you know.
Yeah. What's got you looking to sell this, brother?
Yeah, I'm looking to sell this for 300,000.
What has you looking to sell? Why are you selling?
Oh, I just want to go sell country.
The
I don't
country.
like it. Yeah,
What part of
I
the
want
country?
to. I want to go to Cleveland or Conroe.
Oh, Cleveland. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too far from there. I live in Louisville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what happened? I got my trailer, I got my truck, and I can't pack my trailer. I have to go pay a truck stop, and they stole my trailer. Yeah, and I had to buy a next one. So I say I want to be in everything to be in my yard where I could see it. You know.
You still have a debt on this property, brother?
Yeah, I still own on the property.
About how much is left on that?
I about $107,000.
Okay. What's your monthly
100.
payment?
My monthly payment is 1,409, $9 or $6.
Okay. And then if we was to, because I'm not a realtor, so there's no commissions or fees, you know, what we agree on is what you get. If we was to buy the house, take over the debt and close whenever you want, like what's the absolute least you would take on the total purchase?
Yeah, 100,000.
How much?
100,000. Because I
hun-
was trying to, yeah, 100,000. I was trying to sell it to pay off the house. That's what I was doing. I would have paid it off because my realtor come and examine the house, and she told me the house that was 2 years back, and she told me the house was going for $295,000. And more the escrow there goes up because my escrow, my when I was paying my land tax started with 350. By the time it jumped to 500. Look right now, when I get the mail this month, it comes to 620. So the place is really developing now.
So if we was to buy it, take over the debt, did I understand you right? You would be looking for us to take over the 107 and give you $100,000 on top?
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was talking about because when I sell that house, I could come out with, like the way my realtor had it, I could have come out with 100,000 plus in my pocket.
Sounds like we went from 300,000 to 207. So, but the language barrier sometimes can make it difficult. So we keep asking questions.
To a buyer the same way, and they told me that's too much for them. They're looking for like they wanted to give me 60,000, and I said, nah, that ain't enough for me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we could
Because-
buy it from you, take over the debt of 107 and then give you 100,000. If we was to do that, how soon would you be looking to close?
Oh, because what happened, like just after the Christmas, too.
Uh-huh.
If you're serious, you know.
Yeah. And then if we was to agree to that, buying the 107 and then giving you 100 on top, normally the way we would do that is we would buy it, we'd close with our real estate attorney, we would take over the 107 right away, and then when we resell the property, we would give you your $100,000 cash. So it's a delayed cash sell. Would that work for you?
Oh, that's how you'll have it. Nah, it can't work for me because I need to go buy a next house right away.
Ah,
Mhm.
if we was
Because I
to
want-
if we was to give you some of the 100,000 the day that we close, and then the rest when we resell it, what's the least you could take now and the rest later?
Oh, no, I just wanted everything one time, you know?
You got to have all 100,000 up front.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me look at
Because
something real quick.
I want to buy a portable house, the mobile house.
Yeah.
That's the house I want to buy, and I want to buy a spot where I told you, either Conroe or Cleveland.
Yeah.
Buy a spot and put it on and build up my own thing. But I want to have all the money to do that, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. You get a lot in Cleveland for 100 grand. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I got a friend who wanted to lease the house from me for $2,300, but she got bad credit, and I don't want to go make deal with her. And next thing, she can't pay me. I can't put her out. I
Yeah.
can't do nothing. So I gotta be careful.
How long ago did you buy this house?
I bought that house 2016.
22. Okay.
2016, and I changed a few things. I do touch up, like, you know, change the
So-
floor.
So if we agreed to buy it, take over your 107 and then put 100,000 cash in your pocket and we pay all the closing and there's no realtor fees, you would be ready to move forward with that deal now?
Yeah, we could work with that. But like I say, I have to check my realtor about that, let her know what's going on, because I'm not really too knows about that too much, you know?
Is it listed?
No, it's not listed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, just like the realtor, like to just get advice or something.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Let me go over a couple finer details with my partner here. Are you
Yeah.
around tomorrow for me to call you back?
Yeah, in Houston, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna call you tomorrow about this same time. In the meantime, check in with your realtor. It's real simple. I just wanted to talk to Alicia and make sure that we're on the same page with this one. I think what we can do though, because I want to tell you something wrong. I think we can buy it. We can take over the 107, and then we can put, that right around the 100,000 in your pocket, give or take. And then let me run my numbers tonight, and then let's reconvene tomorrow and see if we come to a final conclusion once you've talked to your advisor and once me and Alicia have brainstormed it out. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother. I'll call you from this number tomorrow about the same time.
That's it. That's my number.
Okay. All right. Bye for now.
Good.
All right. Great call. So, Andrew, why didn't you just get it under contract? For 3 reasons. By the way, type any questions in the chat or takeaways from that call. I will get to every question. So, this is Texas. So we will not buy owner finance, sell on lease option. We'll buy owner finance, sell owner finance. Alicia, Alicia Atlantis? Is this your deal? I think we have a couple of Alicias in the room earlier. Is this yours, Alicia?
Yes, it's mine.
Okay. So my gosh, you're on a winning streak. Way to go. We'll highlight your other deal tomorrow. But we're gonna have to leave some deals for somebody else at some point.
I have another one with David.
Shout out to you, man.
That
Way
one
to
is just
go.
take over debt, no money down.
Way to go. Way to go. And I am totally joking with you. Lean into this momentum, my friend. Proud of you. But that's what happens. Alicia had a bit, she won't mind me telling you, a bit of a slow start. The first few months, it was like dialing and just struggling. And then once the dam breaks, now the whole thing. So there's 3 reasons. 3 reasons I didn't take it across the finish line. Number 1, you guys could tell a little bit of a language barrier. Everybody noticed that. I want to be sure he's very clear on what we are doing. Of course, we'll always close with our real estate attorney if there needs to be an attorney with another language, like whatever we need to do to make sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody's taken care of. Secondly, you notice he was all in, but there was a little bit of pullback. Let me talk to my realtor. Write this down, type it in the chat. Keep frame. So keep frame. So I wanted to give him the opportunity to talk to his realtor because he's going to do it whether I give him that opportunity or not. And I don't want my agreement sitting there as an offer for him to talk to his realtor, and his realtor comes back and says, well, you ought to tell him to give you 110 because we've already agreed to something, because that's what would happen, right? So I pull back, tell him to talk to his realtor. Plus, I want to do a little research on this thing. First glance, I think it's a $300,000 house, but we want to make sure of that. Now, Andrew, you're doing another big down payment. Yes, because it's a cash price. $300,000 house, move in ready for $200K. Who thinks that deal might work? Yes or yes? All right. So if we can come up with 100K instead of 200, then cool. So lastly, we're going to do our research, and we might go back at more like 90,000. Because right now, there's no reason to negotiate numbers when he still has a question mark about if he's going to do the deal. You notice the hot button wasn't the number. Once we got to a number, it was, let me talk to my realtor and make sure this is okay. And so the last thing you want to do is agree on all the details, except check with my realtor to make sure it's okay. And then they come back and start trying to change everything. All right. So that's why we put this on a follow-up for tomorrow. Team, if you could, Gail or Anya, note in there for me to call them back first thing tomorrow. Diane's deal. We'll call Diane's deal. We're going to call Mount Sherman Road. We're going to see how this one goes. Then I'm going to show you all how you can get your Christmas gifts for free. If you like free Christmas gifts, just type in the chat, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right, I'm watching you on YouTube. Where's my Merry Christmases at? And I'm going to show you how you can get that. And we're going to underwrite these deals with Joe and Judith real quick. All right. Calling Tim on Mount Sherman in, Kentucky.
Hello.
Hey, calling you back on the Mount Sherman house. How are you?
Doing fine.
Good. Is this Tim?
Yes, it is.
Good. I think you're talking to my partner, Diane, and I just had a couple questions on it. I had to fax down here. From my understanding, you were asking 200 for the property, and it sounded like it was in good condition, maybe just a couple little minor updates it needed. Is that an accurate understanding?
No, there's no update. It's
No updates.
ready to
Okay.
go. We completely remodeled.
Got
the
it.
home.
Is this a
And,
personal residence or was it a flip?
It was a flip.
Got it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a flip. I live close to it, and we buy homes and remodel them, then sell them. It's got 2.1 acres with it,
Oh, good.
and a 4-bay garage. It's priced to sale. I mean, you can do a comp on it, and check out 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a full basement, and it's priced in line. My realtor said I can get 225 for it if he listed it, but I just rather save people money and just do it myself.
I don't blame you. How far are you from E-Town out there, brother?
E-Town is about 25 minutes.
25. Okay. Are
10 minutes from Hodgenville.
good. My dad pastored a little church in Hodgenville in 1973.
I'm sorry, what did you say, sir? I switched put my earbuds in. What did you say?
My dad pastored a church in Hodgenville in 1973.
Did he? Where?
I don't know. That was before I was alive.
Here all my life. That's why I was asking. I lived here in LaRue County. I live in Mount Sherman, and actually that's where the home is. It's a Magnolia address, but it's in Mount Sherman.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this, brother. So
Yes, sir.
me and Diane, we buy them two ways. We occasionally fix and flip, but I kind of retired from that mostly. Now about 80% of my stuff is the hold, buy and hold. And I normally do that by when I'm doing it to hold, I buy a nice house and I do it with owner financing. Are you open to doing some owner financing if we agreed on price and terms?
Well, it depends how much down you're paying.
Okay.
Really.
How,
I mean, I can owner finance. I don't owe nothing, home or nothing.
okay.
my company operates debt free. So
That's cool.
anyway, my company finances the home.
What kind of terms would you be looking at if we did agree on something?
Well, I never did think about doing it. I just thought about selling it straight out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, how much could you pay down?
Well, so I look at, 3 parts, what kind of monthly payment we can get, because obviously affects my cash flow, and then total price, of course, we're closed with Borders and Borders, so it's done right. And then, down payment, what's my cash on cash going to be? So, it'd be really more about what's most important to you. If we could agree on the rest of stuff and, pay the closing and everything, of course, no realtors involved, is there a little flexibility on the price?
Maybe a little, not much. I've
Okay.
got quite a bit in it, and I've got to make some off of it. That's why I bought it for. But I don't. We try to do a whole lot of ourselves and everything, so we keep it low. I mean, you look at homes, do a comp look at homes in this area. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and full basement. They're 230 or more.
If we were to do something in the 190s, what kind of monthly payment? Well, first question, what's taxes and insurance run on that? Do you know?
I just paid it, and it's not much. I don't. Let's see. I just paid it at the courthouse. I can't tell you right off. 'Cause I just bought it too. This year, and then we've been working 6 months on it, and then got it fixed up, ready to go. So I really couldn't tell you. I had to call the PVA here in LaRue County to really find that out.
Okay.
But I guess it'll go off 100. Well, no, I haven't sold it, so I don't guess it'll go. I don't know. You just had to call
Yeah.
and see
Okay.
at PVA how much it is.
What
And,
kind of monthly payment would be acceptable to you till we paid you off the full 190 something cash?
Are y'all just hanging on to this till spring or something, and then trying to sell it and make money? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So normally, when we buy like this, I buy about 2 or 3 a month around the area and in Kentucky and Indiana. And what I do is I'll buy them and then I'll hold them for a little bit while I put a renter in it, and I help a renter fix whatever's broke with their credit and mark it up and make the difference. So that's what I've been doing the last 12 years. So sometimes it takes a few months, sometimes it takes a few years, but in the meantime,
right. To get that their credit score on up.
Yep.
Get a loan.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the model. So
Yeah.
what's rent go for out there? Do you know?
It's a half like that, probably 1,500.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
figuring.
If not more. I mean, this has got the land and the garage with it and everything, so it'll go for at least 1,600, I'd say. But I really like to sell it straight out. That's really what I had
Yeah.
in mind doing. But
Well,
y'all wouldn't be interested like that.
yeah. If we could do something right at that 200 and pay the closing and, just do a little bit of a delayed cash sale, but net you more money, like what kind of monthly payment would you need till we cashed you out?
Well, I don't know. But I mean, what I'm asking, could y'all do just a cash sale, 100% cash sale, buy on it or not?
We wouldn't be, unfortunately, we wouldn't be willing. We have just 2 models. We either buy cash, but we get at least 30 or 40% discount. So normally that's houses that need work, or we do it with owner financed, short-term owner finance. So it'd have to meet one of those 2 boxes for us to do it. And obviously it wouldn't meet the discounted price, at that level. So,
that price is I already got it marked down.
yeah.
30%. Yeah. Well, my realtor said 225.
Yeah.
What it
We got
would bring.
10%
What it would
off,
bring. I mean, he would list it higher than that, but that's what it would bring for 225,000.
What was the least you would take down if we done that and paid you off over, a little bit of time?
I don't know. Like I said, I've got this in my retirement account. I'll operate out that account. I told you.
Oh yeah.
We
Self-directed
it's,
IRA.
Yeah, self-directed
I love
IRA.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I buy my houses too most of the time, and that way I'm, it's fully paid for through that, and no taxes when I sell.
I
So,
love
yeah, I own over 100 homes, and I rent the majority of them, but we do fix some. We got 2 right now that we got ready to sell, and so
Well, shoot, I
one
might.
of them is
I might want to have a chat with you about we're looking, over the next 60 days, we was looking for a portfolio of 10 or 12 to buy. I don't know that you have that many you want to sell, but we'd be open to.
Well, I've got half of them are apartment complexes. The other half are homes, about 50 apartment complex and 50 homes.
Yeah.
That's what I have. And
Okay.
so my son has some too, but and you're looking for how many?
I was looking for 10 or 12 house portfolio, but I like apartments too. You got my ears pricked up. You got my ears pricked up.
That's like going to a casino apartment. You got money rolling in all the time on that. I doubt if I'll let them go. I owned them here for 10 years now or so, and they're right here in Hodgenville.
Well, how many of the houses would you want to sell if we worked out something?
I don't know.
Okay.
How do y'all do that? Do y'all just go by appraisal, or how do y'all do it? Or 30% below appraisal, or
Yeah, if
you mentioned that 30%.
Yeah, if we're paying cash, then yeah, we normally go around that 30% below. If we're
Below appraisal.
But if you're willing to own or finance them, and maybe let's just say we was buying 10 of them, and you'd let us put 100 or 200 down, and then pay you off the rest over a certain amount of time. We do that commonly, closer to.
Yeah.
We can get closer to appraisal is what I'm telling you with that.
I understand. You're pretty much in the same business I am, I guess. If we do pay cash, we don't do the credit or anything like that. Pay, but I don't. But I may have some. My son may have some. He might want to sell.
Why don't we do this, man? This is Christmas week. Why don't you? I'm assuming you'll see your son for Christmas.
Yeah, I see him every day.
Why don't we reconvene on Friday or Saturday after Christmas? And if you got, if you're looking to part with 2 of them or 4 of them or 6 of them or 12 of them, we'll just talk about what that looks like. And if not, that's okay too.
Do you buy mobile homes or not?
As long as I own the dirt, I don't mind. Yeah.
It'll be he's got a 7 or 8 acres in just outside LaRue County and Greene County.
Oh, wow.
He had thought about selling, and it brings in a real good income. He hates to sell it because it's probably brings in 40%, 40 or 50%. But anyway, he had thrown that around about selling it. So I'll check with him and see.
Yeah, I'd be interested. For sure. And I used to own a 66 unit mobile home park, and I sold it. So I don't mind the mobile homes, like I said, as long as I own the dirt. But yeah, just let's connect on Friday or Saturday.
This 7 acres with 3 homes on it.
Oh, 3 homes on it. Okay.
Yeah,
is it 1 deed?
Homes. Is it one deed? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is.
Yeah, that'd be of interest to us for sure.
Okay. And it is in Greene County, about 3 miles out of LaRue, out of Mount Sherman in Greene.
Okay. Yeah, I like that area.
Of course, zone is a whole lot better out there. They don't, they don't have no zoning laws in Greene County like they do LaRue, Hardin.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, sure as heck. Jefferson, you get into Jefferson, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But
all right.
Yeah, we'll just call me back, after Friday or Saturday, and we'll see what we might do.
We'll see what we
But I
can.
definitely wouldn't want to sell my apartments, even though I had them for a while, but I wouldn't want to sell them.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But I know they'll bring good. I mean, I know they'll bring between 100 and 120,000 a unit, I believe, the way they're been selling.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take it for them.
Yeah.
But on the homes, you can, like I said, that one home you're calling me about, I would, would come off that price a little bit if you would buy it straight out. But if you can't, I understand.
Yeah.
And the home is ready to go. But whatever you can do, you can think about it. And I didn't know if you've seen the pictures of it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what caught my attention because I like them when they got a little land, and I like them.
That's right.
When they're in good shape. But
got 4.3 acres to the left side of that can go with it. Whoever buys a home, I was going to let them have first shot. I'm not going to sell it before then.
Yeah.
And so.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, we'll talk later in the week, brother. And you have a Merry Christmas. It's good to connect with you, and we'll see what we come up with.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Takeaways, questions, type them in the chat. Type them in the chat. I have some very, very exciting news to share with you. But first, we got to underwrite a deal. We got to underwrite a 8-house portfolio. This is how we get portfolios, guys. You just call about a house and you ask questions. Everything about this business. All right. This is like a master class. Thank you, Bill. What did he buy it for? I like how you switched up the down payment question by saying it depends on what's the most important to you. Starts off to be quiet until the conversation gets going. Okay, what's your favorite strategy for this one? My favorite strategy for this one is to, well, my favorite strategy is to buy 10 houses from the guy. But on this house, it's the same as every house is going to be. It's going to be, is he willing to do owner financing, or is he willing to do 30% discount? 30% discount. He wasn't showing willingness to, but also when somebody has 100 houses like this or 100 properties, you never know what's going on. And I'll give you an example. And I'm not saying this guy isn't or is in this case, but he may be having a deal come up. He needs 100K freed up for, and while he won't lose money on this deal, it makes sense for him to take 160 just to get into this other deal. It's going to make him 6 figures instead of holding out for another 30 on this one, right? So guys like that are playing Monopoly, and that's why you've seen me shift my conversation the way I'm describing it, because the guy knows investing. You notice as soon as he said we fix and flip houses, and you could tell by the voice and by the fact where the houses are that this is just like a lot of my friends growing up, which is people who are a couple years my senior and who are in rural areas. And so I love chatting. I get it. And so it's very important that they can work with somebody they trust. And that's what is important to him above all. All right, let's get to the other questions, then underwrite the deal. Then, oh my gosh, the clock is just ticking by. Can we put a web address for submitting deals, please? Or I don't understand that question, Jerry. I'm sure it's a good one, but re-ask it in a different way, and we'll see if we can answer that one for you. I think the only people in the coaching program can submit. Correct. People in coaching can submit deals. And Cindy says, okay, what is a favorite strategy? Oh, that's what we just talked about. Krista says, do you buy land only? You know, I do, but you're not likely to cash flow land. Land only deals are you're most likely to quick flip or buy for something more, right? Maybe you're buying it because it's in the path of progress and you're going to develop it. If you're newer to the business, and I highly recommend that you, if you're newer to the business, I highly recommend that you stick with houses or quick turn land flips. And, you know, don't make your first deal developing a 50 unit apartment complex. So let's keep this momentum going. We're going to underwrite this deal. Then I'm going to tell you how you get your free Christmas presents. So I have down my notes here. This is Sandra. She has 7 houses. The houses, according to Claude AI, which I'm going to do some digging into because I think that it's a little off on some of these. It happens to be in Evansville, so I know these houses quite well. According to Claude AI, these properties retail value is about $650, and she's asking $730. I believe she has reason to believe they're worth $730. Looking at the addresses, I've not deep dove into these. Judith, if you're on, hearing me break this down, but here is the way we initially do this. So we have here, let me pull up my whiteboard and draw this up for you. Where is, here we go. 950 plus 600 plus 800 plus 700 plus 1,050 plus 950 plus 950 equals. All right, so the rent roll is $6,000 a month, probably under rented. Thanks so much. I'll hop onto the meeting in 5 minutes as soon as I'm done here. All right. So it brings in 6,000 a month. He's asking 720. And Claude says it's worth 660. I think, if that's the case, we obviously wouldn't pay above retail that much. But at the same time, there's something to be said for great terms. You notice she said she wanted 3 options to choose from, Judith, if you're watching this. So what is the 3 paydays? What's the 3 options we're going to give her? By the way, 2 of those houses are empty. So although the rent roll is $6,000, she is only getting $4,100. So she's getting $4,100. Write it down, type it in the chat. Know where they are. What do I mean by that? Know where the seller is. You realize she's sitting here on houses. She's sitting here on 7 houses. She's chasing rent every month. She's paying taxes every month. She's paying insurance every month. When a water heater goes out, she has to pay for the water heater. When a roof goes out, she has to replace the roof. All of this crap. And she's only getting $4,100 a month. All right. So her net on this actually is probably like 2. So if we know she's netting $2,000 a month, who here realizes it's not unreasonable to think we're going to pay her probably about what she's netting, $2,000 a month. So we're going to make her a 3-fold offer just like she asked. You notice she said she wanted multiple options to choose from, multiple years, and she was talking about a house where somebody offered her $5,000 down. You guys hear that on last week's call? So I immediately heard 5,000 down, except 5 times 7 is 35K. So I go in, and my mind immediately goes to 3-fold offer. And we're going to call her and explain this offer. I won't have time on this call because we are past time, but offer 1 is probably going to be $25,000 down. But Andrew, where do I get the 25? Well, I guarantee you there's a bunch of people on this Zoom who would love to be your partner if it's a home run deal. We love partnering with our coaching community. Your cash, somebody else's cash. I can show you some creative ways to even get it yourself through business credit lines or through a mortgage on one of the properties, since the properties are free and clear. But again, the clock is telling me that I got to keep moving. So offer 1 is probably going to be $25,000 down, probably going to be $2,500 a month in her pocket, which nets her more than she is right now, and probably going to be somewhere around a total of $650,000. Okay. You notice how I asked her, if it's something in the 6s, would you be open to that? You guys remember hearing me ask that last week. So $25,000 down. Offer 2, probably going to offer her something like $45,000 down. And in reality, this is offering her about $4,000 down per house. And we're going to offer her, in that case, probably $2,000 a month, about. In that case, we're probably going to be about $625. Offer 3, we're probably going to, and both of these should turn out to be around like and I'm doing quick math in my head because I'm going to be putting all of this in an actual financial calculator and putting it together in a real way so we can break it down together when I talk to her, which I'll record that call as well. But these are probably going to turn out to be like 15-year terms, right? And so then offer 3 is probably going to be somewhere in that middle ground of 35 down, which is $5,000 per property, which is what she asked, essentially. But then probably a 10-year term. So the monthly payment will probably go up to like $2,800 a month. Who here realizes when you lease option these properties, probably $650 again. When you lease option these properties, the maintenance and repairs will go way down because you're dealing with tenant buyers. All right. So it's a win for her. It's a win for us. Why do I shorten this offer? Because I want her to take one of the lower down payment offers. Less money now, more money later. And if me paying her an extra 10 or 20 down now saves 25 or 50 on the back end, I'm always open to that. Your money, business credit lines money, private money, partner money, doesn't matter. All right. So that's going to be approximately our threefold offer, give or take. That's quick math. That's from Andrew Schlag's brain. We'll break it down for my technical brains. Who's got value out of this so far? Give me a yes in the chat. And I have one last very important note for you guys. All of you on YouTube and all of you in the Zoom room. Let me pull this up. We have a very cool Christmas gift that we want to give you, but I have a very special request for you. First, let me pull it up here. All right. So for all of you, you could go on the link that I just put. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to give you the instructions. So I'm going to be asking every one of you guys for a beautiful, who here has been getting value the last 4 days? Just yes in the chats, just blast the heck out of chats. All right. We are 4 days down. We have 8 days left to go. We are live every day through the end of the year, minus Sundays and Christmas. I have a very special favor to ask you guys. I am going to ask you something we've not done for a very long time, but it's Christmas week. We want to give away some Christmas gifts, and we want to ask you for a review for our Truca. So I am now putting a link in the chat on both YouTube and Zoom, and I ask that you guys grab that link and go rate Truca. And when you're done sharing your experience at Truca so far and some good things and giving it a 5-star and telling how great Truca and Andrew and Leo and Ricky and Mercedes and Michelle and all the coaches and everybody is. After you get done with whatever your experience has been, then rate it 5-star, screenshot it. All right. And then write down this email address. So go ahead. You can start rating us now. If you get done rating us and you didn't catch this next part, don't worry. I'll repeat it tomorrow. But you're going to email that screenshot to grow@truca.com along with your mailing address. And we're going to send you a very special Christmas gift that will arrive shortly after Christmas. All right. So go do the rating. Go rate Truca. Give us a 5-star on Trustpilot and screenshot it and email it to grow@truca.com. I'm so excited. We're going to be hanging out in Houston together soon. We got a lot of exciting things coming up together. I'm going to talk to you a bunch more ways that we can make money together in the new year. We are just getting started, guys. Thank you for being here. Grow@truca.com. Go rate us on Trustpilot. Grab that link in the chat. Screenshot it. Email it in with your mailing address so we can mail you a physical Christmas gift. All right. Be blessed. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. And we got a lot to cover. Bye for now, guys.